Well, hello, Dolly.
Guys, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be checking out all my favorite Chucky movies from least to best. I hope you enjoy. My number 7 pick is Seed of Chucky. That's one of my least favorites, but all these movies are dear to my heart. Now, Seed of Chucky might be my least favorite of all of Chucky's, but it's still pretty good for its campy violence and uh, bad humor. And it's just one of those movies that you don't want to watch something that's really scary. It's not even that scary. And also Tiffany. Tiffany is a big part of the Chucky lore ever since Bride of Chucky. We'll get into that later, and when she first comes to the Chucky universe. And I just wish that this movie would have been better for Don Mancini. Don Mancini is the director. You guys know that, and he's really good at what he does. I just wish that he would have done a little bit better. So this movie, all in all, it's my 7 right now. It will not ever change, I don't think, because I really don't really care for it that much. But I put it on sometimes just for fun. It has Glenn and Glinda, and it has all kinds of different characters in there. But anyway, guys, I don't. All in all, if you guys just want to watch it just for fun, go right ahead. My number 6 pick is Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3 wasn't that bad of a movie for me, but um, I had some issues with it because it was a low budgeted one. Well, don't get me wrong, number 1 and number 2 were low budget, especially number 1 because number 1 was the first one. But this one is like, oh, let's try to make Chucky go to military school with his military people and see what he does there. And while I like the movie, it's one of my top 7, 6 now movies that I really I like, and I care about from the Chucky series. It's just one of my least favorite ones. That it's not. Don't get me wrong, good movie, and I would recommend it. I recommend all these movies. I would not watch any one of these, even the one I just told you about. But this one has a lot of good stuff in it. It has grown up Andy Bar. All in all, I would recommend any one of these movies. This is my 6th movie that, yes, my least favorite movie, yes, one of my least favorites, but I still recommend it. Like I said, it has good violence. It has a person getting blown up. I don't want to tell you too much in case you guys haven't seen it, but this is my ranking for this one, 6. And I don't think that would ever change like the last one, but I recommend any one of these, especially this one. For my number 5 pick, Cult of Chucky. Cult of Chucky has Chucky switching bodies, and people don't really care for that, but I do. I mean, it's not that bad of a movie, as people say, because people aren't used to it. So I don't know why. I mean, it's pretty cool. The people want new things from Chucky. They don't want just just the same thing. So coming up with a new concept of Chucky taking over different bodies, whether it be himself or this other person, which I'm not going to tell you because just in case you didn't see the movie, it's an awesome movie. It pays an homage to Bride of Chucky also, and it has the original Annie Barkley. He's back. Jennifer Tilly's back, so I recommend it. Number 4 for me is Curse of Chucky. So after being away for so many years, Don Mancini returned with Curse of Chucky. He made Seed of Chucky, which was a flop, and nobody really cared for it. But this one was a step up, and he went back to his old ways of being more scary and more gruesome. And it's the whole story is Chucky trapped with these people in this huge house or mansion, whatever it is, and this person named Nika is in it, which is Brad Dourif's real daughter, and she does a really good role in it. She's really good in her the role she plays. She plays a woman that's in a wheelchair, and she has to defend herself against Chucky. She also plays in Cult of Chucky. But this movie, it went back to being the horror that Don Mancini made from the old ones, and then he made Cult of Chucky, which is totally different, yes. But this one is it's just straight up horror. It's like a different kind of genre, and I recommend this one. Obviously, I recommend every single one of them, but this one is really good. Also, for my third pick, I picked Child's Play. You guys might be asking why I didn't have the new Child's Play remake on here. It's because I never watched it. I'm sure if I did, I put it in the ranking. I probably put it below Seed of Chucky, obviously, because Seed of Chucky was not a good movie to watch. Just to watch Chucky kill people. It was a mindless movie. But this movie, uh, original Child's Play movie was awesome. It had Chucky, obviously, but Chucky wasn't the Chucky we know yet. He was more like a silent killer, as in like you didn't really get to see him until like later on in the movie. So, I mean, this movie had a little Andy Barclay, the original actor, obviously, because it's the first movie. He played such a good role. He stuttered over his lines sometimes. I mean, I do too, but I'm not an actor. You guys know that. But this movie had just the best kind of like story. This cop, this detective, is trying to find Charles E. Ray, which is Chucky, and Charles E. Ray ends up putting his soul into a doll, and there it goes. It kicks off the Child's Play series, and then it goes to the Chucky series afterwards, because later on it becomes Chucky instead of Child's Play. But Brad Dourif, the guy that plays Chucky, I should make a film thing about him because he's an awesome actor. The guy can play a lot of roles I've seen him in, but he plays a good Chucky, and he plays Chucky ever since, except for the new Child's Play remake, which you know the other actor is in it, the guy that plays Luke Skywalker, but we're not talking about him today. But this movie is an introduction to Chucky, and I would check it out if you haven't. Number 2, Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2 improves on original Child's Play movie in a lot of ways. It has the same kid that plays Andy Barclay, but he's better. He's better as an actor. He's better at doing what he needs to do. He doesn't stumble over his lines. He's a cute kid when he was younger, obviously, because he's old now. He's actually older than me. But this movie has Andy orphanage and getting adopted by these two people. And the father doesn't really care for him, but the mom does. And I feel bad for the kid because not only does he have to deal with Chucky this time, he has to deal with the parents that adopted him, and the wife really does like him. The mom, well, the orphanage mom, whatever she is to him, but she meets this other woman. I can't remember her name for some reason right now, but she does end up playing later on in one of the series. Well, not series, but one of the movies later on, like way later on, called the Chucky. But he meets her, and she helps him. She doesn't believe him at first. She doesn't know who Chucky is, and a lot of crap ensues. And at the very end of the movie, it's awesome because Chucky tries to get into his body like usual, but it's too late, and Chucky just loses it. They're in his factory, and Chucky ends up killing like it's the guy that works there, and ends up getting mangled all to pieces, and he's still going after Andy because he's so pissed that he missed his shot again. But this movie is my second to last pick, But this movie is awesome. This movie would be my first, but the other one just nearly makes it more than this one, and we'll check that out next. My number one pick is Bride of Chucky. Bride of Chucky is my favorite out of all the Chucky movies because it kind of reminds me of the old Frankenstein movies in a way. Remember how Frankenstein, this person tried to make Frankenstein and they failed miserably because Frankenstein tried to run loose and everything like that and started like almost killing people, and actually he did kill a person. He killed a little girl in that movie, the very first one. But this one's like, what if Chucky got brought back to life? What if somebody used some voodoo on him? Like Jennifer Tilly. This is Jennifer Tilly's first role, and she does a very good job. I'm thinking that she's actually one of the best people they could have ever hired. She's very sexy in this movie. Later on in the movies, I wouldn't say so. She's more like old looking. No offense to people that still care and like her. I mean, she's still a good actress, and she's still one of the best. But this is how she got introduced, and she got transformed into Tiffany, and because Chucky, she wanted Chucky to become human, but Chucky was being really mean to her, and so he was being, you stupid bitch and shit. So he was saying bad things to her. So she ended up locking him up, and she gave him a doll, and Chucky got all mad, and he broke out, and that's when everything happens, and he killed her, and then he ends up putting her into a doll himself, and her name is Tiffany. Well, her name is already Tiffany. Her Jennifer Tilly's actual role is Tiffany, but then this other couple, Jesse Jade, which is funny because it seems like Team Rocket to me. They end up like Jesse ends up like getting $50 from the 500, I think it was, from this woman, which is Tiffany, because he's friends with her, and he ends up getting another 500 if he drops the doll off at the because what they need to do is that they need to go to this graveyard to find the heart of Damballa for them both to get transformed into humans again. So these two couple, John Ritter also plays in it. He plays a good part, and I feel bad that he actually passed away. Well, that was a long time ago now. So, I mean, it's you do see some doll sex in it, but you can't really see it. It's like behind some kind of curtain. So, I mean, you hear the noises and you see the shadows. But if you guys don't really care for that, then I don't know what to say. But this movie is a really good movie. Don Mancini does not direct this one. Another person does. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. But the director that directs this movie is really good, I have to say. This movie is dark in tone, and you finally see the kid at the end getting... you finally see Tiffany give birth to the kid at the end, and that's what leads to see the Chucky later on. I would say probably more than a few years later, more than 10 years. But yeah, it's a really good movie, and I love this movie. It's my favorite one, and if you guys want to see more of these videos, please let me know.